Ladies and gentlemen, today we delve into a principle so ancient yet so relevant, so misunderstood yet so transformative, the principle of karma. Often dismissed as mere superstition or fate's ledger, karma is far more profound. It is not about cosmic punishments or rewards, but about the undeniable law of cause and effect that we experience every day of our lives. Karma is a concept that has often been misunderstood, misrepresented, or simplified to the point of losing its true essence. Many people see it as some cosmic scoreboard, a divine system of rewards and punishments, where good deeds earn blessings and misdeeds bring suffering. But this superficial view reduces karma to a transactional process, something external and detached from the flow of life itself. To truly grasp the profound significance of karma, we must move beyond these misconceptions and explore its deeper meaning as the law of cause and effect that governs not only our actions, but the very fabric of existence. Karma is not about judgment or retribution. It is not a force that doles out punishment for our mistakes or rewards for our virtues. Instead, karma is a natural principle, much like gravity. It simply reflects the consequences of our actions, thoughts, and intentions. To understand this, imagine throwing a stone into a calm pond. The ripples spread outward, touching everything in their path, altering the surface of the water. Our actions and thoughts are like those stones, sending ripples through the interconnected web of life. These ripples eventually return to us, not as a punishment or reward, but as a reflection of the energy we have contributed to the world. It's a cycle, a dance of creation and consequence. One of the most important aspects of karma is that it is neutral. It does not operate with malice or favoritism. If you plant a seed in fertile soil and nurture it, it will grow. If you neglect it or plant a harmful weed, that too will grow. Karma operates on the same principle. The outcomes we experience are not arbitrary or influenced by external forces, but are the natural results of the seeds we have sown through our actions, words, and thoughts. This neutrality is empowering because it places the responsibility for our lives squarely in our hands. It is not fate, not a predestined script we are helpless to alter, but a dynamic process that we shape moment by moment. Another common misconception is that karma is limited to a single lifetime. Many traditions, especially in the East, view karma as a long-term process that transcends individual lifetimes. However, even if one does not believe in reincarnation, the principle remains relevant in the here and now. The patterns we create through our actions and intentions can persist and shape our reality in ways that are immediately visible. For example, a habit of kindness can foster meaningful relationships and a sense of inner peace, while a tendency towards selfishness or deceit can lead to isolation and mistrust. These effects are not mystical, they are practical, observable truths that demonstrate the principle of karma at work. Karma also extends beyond individual actions to collective responsibility. The choices of communities, nations, and even humanity as a whole create ripples that shape the world we live in. Environmental degradation, social inequality, and conflict are not the result of a single person's actions, but the accumulated karma of societies over time. This perspective encourages us to think beyond our immediate desires and consider the broader consequences of our choices. When we recognize that our actions contribute to the collective karma, we begin to act with greater awareness and responsibility, knowing that we are shaping not just our own lives, but the future of generations to come. One of the most liberating aspects of understanding karma is realizing that it is not fixed or final. It is a dynamic process, constantly unfolding and changing with every action, every thought, and every intention. This means that no matter where we find ourselves in life, we have the power to change the trajectory of our karma. By cultivating awareness and choosing actions that align with compassion, integrity, and wisdom, we can transform the ripples we send into the world. We are not prisoners of our past mistakes. We are creators of our present and future realities. At its core, karma is a teaching about interconnectedness. It reminds us that we are not isolated individuals, but part of a vast, interwoven web of life. Every action we take, no matter how small, affects others and ultimately returns to us. This understanding fosters a sense of humility and responsibility. When we act with awareness of our interconnectedness, we naturally begin to align our choices with values that benefit not just ourselves, but the whole. Understanding karma beyond its misconceptions requires a shift in perspective. It is not about living in fear of some cosmic reckoning or striving for rewards. It is about understanding the power of our actions and intentions to shape our reality. It is about recognizing the profound truth that what we give to the world, we ultimately give to ourselves. Karma is not a burden, it is a guide, an invitation to live with purpose, clarity, and compassion. And when we embrace this deeper understanding, we unlock the key to a better life, not just for ourselves, but for everyone whose lives we touch. Our actions, whether grand or seemingly insignificant, create ripples in the world around us. Like stones cast into a pond, they spread outward, touching everything in their path and altering the flow of life in ways that may be invisible at first, but profound over time. Every thought, word, and deed creates a wave that resonates far beyond the immediate moment, influencing not only our own lives, but the lives of others in the world at large. The ripple effect of actions, therefore, serves as a reminder of our interconnectedness with the universe and the profound responsibility we carry as individuals. When we think of actions, we often focus on the visible consequences, the immediate results that we can easily observe. Perhaps we help a friend in need or offer a kind word to a stranger. We see the smile on their face or hear their gratitude, and we may feel the satisfaction of having done something good. But what we often fail to realize is that these actions, even the smallest ones, extend far beyond the moment we experience them. The energy we send into the world doesn't simply disappear, it transforms the fabric of reality itself, subtly influencing the future in ways that may not be immediately apparent. For example, imagine a simple act of kindness. You offer someone a compliment or you hold the door open for a stranger. In that moment, the recipient feels a sense of warmth and perhaps gratitude. This shift in their emotional state may inspire them to act kindly towards someone else. The ripple effect grows. That stranger might go home and in a moment of peace, take the time to listen to a loved one with patience and understanding. A series of small positive shifts begins, spreading outward in waves far beyond the reach of the initial act. What started as a simple compliment may eventually contribute to an atmosphere of goodwill, empathy, and understanding that impacts countless lives. But the ripple effect is not always limited to positive actions. Negative actions, too, send waves through the world. When we act out of anger, fear, or selfishness, those emotions are often transferred to others, even if indirectly. For instance, when we are impatient or rude to someone, we may not see the full extent of the damage. The person we hurt may carry that negative energy into their interactions with others. They may snap at a colleague or withdraw from their family. A simple misstep in one moment can set off a chain reaction of negativity affecting far more people than we might realize. The ripple effect of actions is a reflection of the fundamental truth that we are all interconnected. Each of us is part of a vast, intricate web of life, and every action we take, no matter how small, influences the entire system. This interconnectedness means that the consequences of our actions extend beyond the individuals directly involved and reverberate through the larger collective. A single action can set off a chain of events that reaches places and people we may never meet, and it can continue long after the original act has passed. This interconnectedness also implies that the energy we project into the world returns to us, albeit in unexpected ways. If we consistently act with kindness, compassion, and respect, the ripples we send out create an environment in which those qualities are reflected back to us. This is not a form of transaction or tit-for-tat justice, but rather a natural alignment with the flow of life. Positive actions create a momentum of positivity, attracting like-minded energy and fostering an atmosphere of harmony and goodwill. Conversely, when we allow negativity to guide our actions, the universe responds by reinforcing that energy, often in ways we may not anticipate. We are not victims of our circumstances, but active participants in the ongoing dance of creation and consequence. The ripple effect also teaches us that there is no such thing as a truly isolated action. Even when we believe we are acting alone or in private, our actions still impact the world. This realization brings with it a deep sense of accountability, not because we are being judged, but because we understand that our choices matter. Every word we speak, every decision we make reverberates outward, whether we are aware of it or not. This awareness encourages us to be more mindful of how we move through the world, recognizing the profound impact we have on others. Furthermore, the ripple effect of actions encourages us to take a longer view of life. It reminds us that we are not merely living for ourselves, but as part of a larger interconnected whole. The immediate consequences of our actions may not always be clear, but in the long run, they accumulate and contribute to the collective experience. In this sense, karma and the ripple effect go hand in hand. Just as karma teaches us that our actions have consequences, the ripple effect shows us that the impact of those actions is never confined to a single moment or person. It stretches outward, influencing the past, present, and future in ways that we may never fully comprehend. Ultimately, the ripple effect of our actions is a reminder of the immense power we hold as individuals. We may not always see the full scope of our influence, but we are constantly shaping the world around us. Whether through acts of kindness, compassion, or negativity, our energy touches lives in ways that create a ripple, a wave that moves through the universe, shaping the present and future in profound and often unseen ways. Understanding this truth allows us to live with greater intention, recognizing that each choice we make has the potential to create a ripple of transformation in the world. Accountability is often viewed as a responsibility, something we must bear in order to meet the expectations of others or to follow the rules set by society. But true accountability, when understood deeply, is much more than that. It is a powerful tool for personal growth and transformation. It is about owning our actions, our thoughts, and our intentions with full awareness, recognizing that we are the architects of our own reality. Accountability is not about blame or punishment, it is about empowerment. It is the recognition that every decision we make shapes our future and that we and we alone are responsible for what we create in our lives. To be accountable is to accept the profound truth that we have control over our choices. This doesn't mean that life's circumstances are always within our control, nor does it mean that we can avoid external factors. But it means that how we respond to life, how we choose to think, feel, and act in any given situation is entirely within our power. When we take accountability for our responses, we release ourselves from the victim mentality that so often holds us back. Instead of blaming others or external circumstances for our difficulties, we empower ourselves to take charge of how we navigate through them. This sense of empowerment comes from the understanding that ultimately we are the creators of our experiences. Our thoughts and beliefs give rise to our emotions, which in turn influence our actions. The patterns we develop through repeated behavior become the foundation of our lives. When we are accountable for our choices, we accept the responsibility for creating these patterns. If we consistently make decisions rooted in kindness, integrity, and wisdom, we build a life that reflects those values. If we act out of fear, greed, or anger, we create a life that mirrors those emotions. Accountability allows us to see this process clearly, enabling us to take control of our own destinies. Empowerment through accountability also requires a deep level of self-awareness. It's easy to point fingers at others when things go wrong, but true accountability requires that we look inward. It asks us to examine our own thoughts, motivations, and actions without judgment. This introspection is not about guilt or shame, but about understanding the reasons behind our behavior and how it shapes our experience. By accepting responsibility for our actions, we can identify patterns that may be limiting or harmful, and we can choose to change them. The power to transform our lives lies within this process of honest self-reflection. One of the key elements of accountability is the willingness to acknowledge our mistakes. Often we are reluctant to admit when we've erred because we fear judgment or failure. However, accountability teaches us that mistakes are not something to hide from or to be ashamed of. They are opportunities for growth. When we take ownership of our missteps, we gain valuable insight into ourselves and the world around us. This empowers us to learn from our experiences, adapt, and move forward with greater wisdom and clarity. Moreover, accountability is not a solitary journey. It is not just about taking responsibility for our own actions. It is also about recognizing the impact our actions have on others. When we acknowledge the interconnectedness of all beings, accountability takes on a broader meaning. Our choices affect not only our own lives, but the lives of those around us. By being accountable for how we treat others, we create an environment where trust, respect, and empathy can flourish. This in turn leads to stronger relationships, healthier communities, and a more harmonious world. The empowerment that comes from accountability is deeply connected to the idea of personal freedom. When we stop blaming external factors for our situation, we begin to realize that we are free to shape our lives according to our deepest desires and values. Accountability frees us from the limiting belief that we are passive recipients of life circumstances. It teaches that we are active participants, capable of making choices that reflect our true essence. The freedom that comes with this realization is not just the freedom to do what we want, but the freedom to act in alignment with our highest potential. Additionally, accountability encourages us to be proactive in our lives rather than reactive. When we hold ourselves accountable, we stop waiting for things to happen to us, and instead, we begin to create the conditions for the life we want to live. We become the drivers of our own journey rather than passengers. This shift in mindset is incredibly empowering because it opens up a world of possibilities. We no longer feel at the mercy of fate or circumstances. Instead, we recognize that we have the ability to influence the direction of our lives through our choices. However, true empowerment through accountability requires that we also practice self-compassion. It is important to remember that being accountable does not mean being perfect. We will inevitably make mistakes, and we will face setbacks along the way. What matters is not the mistakes themselves, but how we respond to them. When we hold ourselves accountable, we can recognize when we've gone astray and take the necessary steps to realign ourselves. Self-compassion allows us to do this without self-criticism or judgment. It gives us the space to learn, grow, and move forward with resilience. At its core, accountability is a gift. It gives us the power to create the life we want, to learn from our experiences, and to become the best version of ourselves. It is through the practice of accountability that we move from a place of passivity to one of active creation. When we take ownership of our actions, we empower ourselves to shape our lives with intention, purpose, and clarity. This empowerment is not just about achieving external success, but about aligning ourselves with our true selves. When we are accountable for who we are and what we do, we step into our full potential, and in doing so, we transform our lives and the world around us. Cultivating positive intentions is a foundational practice in creating a life that is both fulfilling and harmonious. Intentions are the seeds from which our actions, experiences, and outcomes grow. The energy we put behind our thoughts and desires shapes not only our present moment, but also the trajectory of our future. By cultivating positive intentions, we begin to align ourselves with the highest aspects of our being, fostering an environment where peace, growth, and compassion flourish. This is not merely about wishing for good things to happen, but about consciously choosing to embody positive qualities in every aspect of our lives, knowing that what we intend will eventually manifest in the form of actions, relationships, and experiences. At the core of cultivating positive intentions is the recognition that our thoughts shape our reality. Every intention begins as a thought, a spark of possibility in the mind. If we consistently direct our thoughts toward positivity, toward love, kindness, empathy, and understanding, we create a mental landscape that nurtures these qualities in our daily life. Intentions are powerful because they set the tone for how we respond to the world. A positive intention is like a compass that guides us through the complexities of life, providing clarity and purpose in our decisions. It is not enough to hope for a better life. We must actively cultivate the intention to create one. The first step in this process is to become aware of our current intentions. Often we go through life without consciously reflecting on what we are intending. Our thoughts are constantly moving, and we may not stop to examine whether they are positive, negative, or neutral. By bringing our awareness to our intentions, we can begin to notice the patterns that shape our behavior. Are we acting from a place of fear, scarcity, or anger, or are we acting from a place of love, abundance, and peace? Once we bring this awareness to the forefront, we gain the power to choose whether or not to align with the kind of energy we want to bring into our lives. To cultivate positive intentions, we must first clear away the mental clutter that obstructs our ability to think clearly and authentically. Fear, doubt, and negativity can cloud our judgment and prevent us from forming intentions that are in line with our highest good. It is in these moments of clarity that we must choose to step into the space of possibility and open ourselves to the potential of positive outcomes. When we release the middle barriers that limit us, we allow room for growth, healing, and transformation. Positive intentions arise naturally when we trust in the abundance of life and believe that we are worthy of love, success, and joy. A powerful aspect of cultivating positive intentions is the alignment of these intentions with our values. Our intentions are more than just abstract desires. They are the reflections of what we hold most dear. When we cultivate intentions that are in harmony with our deepest values, such as integrity, compassion, and authenticity, we set the stage for living in a way that feels true to ourselves. Positive intentions are not about achieving external goals, but about living in a way that honors who we truly are. When our intentions reflect our values, our actions become more meaningful and the outcomes more rewarding. We stop striving for success based on external measures and instead focus on creating a life that feels deeply aligned with our authentic self. Equally important is the role of mindfulness in cultivating positive intentions. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, aware of our thoughts, emotions, and actions without judgment. By practicing mindfulness, we can observe the inner landscape of our mind and catch negative or unproductive intentions before they take root. When we are mindful, we can direct our energy more consciously and choose to act with kindness, patience, and understanding, even in the face of difficulty. Mindfulness strengthens our ability to stay grounded in positive intentions, especially during times of stress or uncertainty. Cultivating positive intentions also involves cultivating a sense of gratitude. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, from the negatives to the positives. When we are grateful for the blessings in our lives, we create an energetic alignment with abundance and fulfillment. Gratitude helps us to set positive intentions because it opens our hearts and minds to the goodness of life. It reminds us that we are supported by the universe and in turn encourages us to offer kindness and positivity to others. The practice of gratitude serves as both an anchor and a guide as we navigate our daily lives with positive intentions. Furthermore, positive intentions are not just directed toward our own lives, but also toward others. When we set an intention to be kind, compassionate, and supportive, we not only enhance our own well-being, but also positively impact those around us. Every interaction, no matter how small, has the potential to influence the energy of others. By setting an intention to bring positivity into the lives of others, we create a ripple effect that can spread far beyond our immediate surroundings. In this way, our positive intentions contribute not only to our personal growth, but to the collective good as well. The process of cultivating positive intentions is not a one-time event, but a continuous practice. It requires consistent effort, self-awareness, and a willingness to stay true to the energy we wish to create. It involves regularly checking in with ourselves, reassessing our intentions, and adjusting when necessary. Positive intentions are not rigid goals, but dynamic forces that evolve as we grow and learn. Each day offers a new opportunity to align our thoughts, actions, and desires with the qualities that we wish to embody. In the end, cultivating positive intentions is about creating a life of purpose, authenticity, and fulfillment. It is about choosing to direct our energy toward what serves our highest good and the good of others. It is the practice of consciously shaping our reality through the power of thought, heart, and action. As we set positive intentions, we become more aligned with our true essence, more connected to the world around us, and more capable of creating the life we desire. The energy we put forth returns to us, and in doing so, we become the change we wish to see in the world. Breaking the cycle of negativity is a transformative process that requires deep awareness, intention, and commitment to change. Negative thought patterns, destructive behaviors, and emotional reactions can become ingrained in our lives, often without us even realizing it. These cycles of negativity can trap us in a state of constant dissatisfaction, fear, or self-doubt, preventing us from experiencing the peace, joy, and fulfillment we deserve. However, it is possible to break free from this cycle and create a more positive, empowered reality. The key lies in recognizing the negative patterns that hold us back and consciously choosing to replace them with healthier, more constructive habits of mind and heart. The first step in breaking the cycle of negativity is awareness. Negative patterns often operate unconsciously, and we may not realize just how much they shape our thoughts, behaviors, and experiences. These patterns can stem from past trauma, societal conditioning, or learned behaviors, and they can become so habitual that they feel like an integral part of our identity. Whether it's an inner dialogue of self-criticism, a tendency to focus on the worst-case scenario, or a belief that we are unworthy of happiness, these negative patterns shape our perception of the world and our place within it. Awareness is the gateway to transformation because it allows us to step back and observe the thoughts, emotions, and actions that keep us stuck in negativity. By noticing when we slip into negative patterns, we gain the ability to pause and reflect before automatically reacting. This awareness does not require judgment or criticism of ourselves, but instead invites a compassionate recognition of where we are and how we got there. It helps us see that these negative cycles are not who we are, they are simply habits that can be changed. Once we have recognized the negative patterns, the next step is to interrupt them. Habits are powerful forces, and breaking free from them often requires conscious effort. When we find ourselves spiraling into negativity, it's important to pause and create space between the trigger and our response. Instead of immediately reacting with judgment, fear, or anger, we can choose to breathe, center ourselves, and become more present. This moment of stillness allows us to take a step back from the emotional charge and make a more mindful choice. By practicing this pause, we begin to create a new neural pathway, one that is rooted in awareness rather than automatic reactivity. One effective way to break the cycle of negativity is by reframing our thoughts. When negative patterns emerge, we can challenge the thoughts that underpin them. For instance, if we find ourselves thinking, "I'm not good enough," we can consciously replace that thought with a more balanced perspective, such as "I am doing the best I can, and I am worthy of growth and learning." Reframing allows us to shift our focus from the negative to the positive, from what we perceive as lacking to what we have and can develop. This shift in mindset is not about denying reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about choosing to focus on possibilities rather than limitations. Gratitude is another powerful tool in breaking the cycle of negativity. When we focus on the negative, we often amplify the feelings of scarcity, helplessness, or frustration. However, when we consciously shift our attention to what we are grateful for, we begin to rewire our brain toward positivity. Gratitude helps us acknowledge the abundance in our lives, no matter how small it may seem. By regularly practicing gratitude, we train our minds to seek out the positive aspects of experiences no matter the circumstances. This shift in focus creates a more resilient and optimistic mindset, which helps break the grip of negativity. Another important aspect of breaking the cycle of negativity is self-compassion. The negative patterns are often rooted in self-criticism, perfectionism, or feelings of inadequacy. We may believe that in order to improve or succeed, we must constantly push ourselves or be harsh with ourselves. However, this approach only reinforces negative cycles and leads to burnout, anxiety, and frustration. Instead, we can practice self-compassion by treating ourselves with the same kindness, patience, and understanding that we would offer to a friend. This means allowing ourselves to make mistakes, acknowledging our challenges, and celebrating our progress without judgment. Self-compassion helps us break the cycle of negativity by fostering a sense of acceptance and love, which allows us to grow from a place of inner peace rather than fear or shame. Breaking the cycle of negativity also requires that we change our external environment when necessary. Often, our surroundings, whether it's the people we interact with, the media we consume, or the situations we put ourselves in, can reinforce negative patterns. So if we are constantly exposed to negativity, whether it's through toxic relationships or a constant stream of negative news, it can be difficult to break free. It's important to set boundaries and choose environments that support our well-being. Surrounding ourselves with positive influences, whether through uplifting people, inspiring books, or peaceful spaces, can help us break the cycle and create an environment that encourages growth and positivity. One of the most profound ways to break the cycle of negativity is through forgiveness. Holding on to grudges, resentment, or anger from the past can keep us locked in negative thought patterns. Forgiveness is not about condoning harmful behavior or forgetting what happened, but about releasing the emotional charge that binds us to the past. When we forgive, whether it's ourselves or others, we free ourselves from the grip of negativity and allow space for healing and growth. Forgiveness is an act of liberation, not just for the person being forgiven, but for ourselves as well. Ultimately, breaking the cycle of negativity requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to transform our relationship with ourselves and the world. It is not an overnight process, but rather a lifelong journey of self-awareness, growth, and healing. As we become more aware of the negative patterns that hold us back, we can begin to replace them with positive habits of mind, heart, and action. By practicing mindfulness, reframing our thoughts, cultivating gratitude, and practicing self-compassion, we create a life that is rooted in positivity, resilience, and peace. The cycle of negativity can be broken. In its place, we can create a life that is aligned with our highest potential. Karma, often misunderstood as mere cause and effect, is much more than just a system of rewards and punishments. At its deepest level, karma is a powerful tool for self-realization, offering us a profound path toward understanding our true nature. It provides the means to explore and transform the mind, the heart, and the soul, helping us to break free from the illusion of separation and reconnect with the essence of who we truly are. Through the lens of karma, we can gain insight into our motivations, our behaviors, and the subtle forces that shape our experiences, enabling us to align our actions with our higher purpose. The concept of karma suggests that every action, thought, and intention carries with it an energetic consequence. This isn't merely a system of moral judgment. Rather, it's a reflection of the interconnectedness of all things. Our actions ripple out into the world, affecting not just ourselves, but everyone and everything around us. In this way, karma acts as a mirror, reflecting back to us the consequences of our own behavior, allowing us to see the patterns that govern our lives. As we begin to recognize these patterns, we gain an opportunity to transcend them, moving closer to self-realization. One of the primary ways karma serves as a tool for self-realization is by helping us become more aware of our actions and their underlying motivations. It is easy to go through life on autopilot, acting out of habit, conditioning, or unconscious desire. But karma demands that we pay attention to the energy behind our actions. Are we acting out of love, compassion, and wisdom, or are we driven by fear, anger, or selfishness? By bringing awareness to the intentions behind our actions, we begin to recognize the subtle forces that shape our lives. This awareness is the first step towards self-realization, as it allows us to see how our inner world reflects in the outer world and vice versa. In this process of awareness, karma teaches us the importance of personal responsibility. Too often, we look outward for explanations for our circumstances, blaming others or external events for our challenges. However, karma reminds us that we are not helpless victims of fate, but active participants in the creation of our reality. Each thought, word, and deed carries with it the potential to shape our future. When we take responsibility for our actions and the consequences they produce, we empower ourselves to make conscious choices that are in alignment with our highest potential. This sense of agency is crucial for self-realization because it reminds us that we are not defined by our circumstances, but by the choices we make moment by moment. As we become more aware of our actions and take responsibility for them, karma also invites us to examine the deeper layers of our consciousness. Why do we act the way we do? What fears, desires, or beliefs are driving our behavior? Often our actions are not fully conscious. They are influenced by past conditioning, unconscious patterns, and unresolved emotional wounds. Karma provides a space for self-inquiry, allowing us to delve into the root causes of our actions and uncover the hidden motivations that guide our lives. This process of introspection can be uncomfortable at times, as it requires us to face parts of ourselves that we may have ignored or denied. But it is through this process of self-examination that we come to know ourselves more deeply, ultimately leading to greater self-awareness and self-realization. Karma also plays a vital role in helping us cultivate qualities that are essential for self-realization, such as patience, forgiveness, and compassion. When we understand that every action we take, whether positive or negative, is an opportunity to learn and grow, we begin to approach life with a more open heart. Instead of reacting with judgment or frustration when things don't go as we'd like, we can see challenges as opportunities for growth. When we face difficulties or confront negative emotions, karma teaches us that these moments are not punishments but invitations to heal and evolve. In this way, karma helps us develop a more balanced and compassionate approach to life, one that is rooted in understanding rather than judgment. Forgiveness is another critical aspect of karma that supports self-realization. Often we carry grudges, anger, and resentment toward others, believing that we are justified in doing so. However, karma teaches us that holding on to negative emotions only keeps us bound to the past, preventing us from moving forward. When we practice forgiveness, we free ourselves from the grip of resentment and open ourselves to healing. By forgiving others, we also forgive ourselves, releasing the negative energy that ties us to our mistakes and imperfections. In this way, forgiveness becomes a powerful tool for self-realization, allowing us to let go of the past and embrace the present moment with a clear heart and mind. At its core, karma is about transformation. It offers us a path towards self-realization by showing us where we are and where we have been, while guiding us toward where we have the potential to go. Every experience, whether it appears to be positive or negative, contains the seeds of transformation. Through our actions, we create the conditions for our growth, and through our awareness, we cultivate the wisdom to navigate life with greater clarity and compassion. Karma is not a force of punishment, but a dynamic system of learning, offering us the opportunity to evolve, transcend, and ultimately realize our true nature. Self-realization is not an end goal, but an ongoing journey, and karma is an essential guide on this path. By recognizing that we are the creators of our experiences, we take ownership of our actions and their consequences. We begin to see that every moment offers an opportunity for growth, healing, and transformation. As we align our actions with positive intentions, we create the conditions for greater peace, wisdom, and love to manifest in our lives. Karma, when viewed through the lens of self-realization, becomes a powerful tool for awakening to the truth of who we are and the infinite potential that lies within us.